Morning, amazing people. This is the second time around. If you're coming across the sound of my voice, welcome to the replay. I love to save my lives just because I love to. So if you're coming across the replay, shout out to you, subscribe, like, and share with a buddy, okay? So if you know that I'm going live, it's because I've had some form of inspiration to come here. So today I just want you to provide some money motivation for you. So when I was doing yoga this morning, what came to me was face your faults, right? A lot of the times we're not interested in facing our faults. I know a lot of you, happy Valentine's Day. Is today the 14th? I don't even know, right? But I have the ability to face your own faults. Why? Because it puts you in a position of power. When you face your own faults, no one can use it against you. Happy Valentine's Day. So making sure that you become a person that's self-reflective. This is why I love to journal. When you do that, it's just a power in facing something that you view to be a mistake. Why? It's because you get to look at it like, okay, I did this thing, but here's how I can do it better. So facing your faults is just as though you're becoming better, not worse. Ignoring your faults, you're now living unconsciously. So I challenge each and every last one of you who come up under the sound of my voice right now and who's coming up under the sound of this video, face your faults when it comes to your past money decisions. What decisions have you made in the past that brought you to the level of your financial and economic current status? You know the number one way you can do that? Pull up your personal credit profile. Who do you owe? Look at those habits. Take a look. Most people have issues with their personal credit is because you either made a bad decision when it came to business, because a lot of you are using your personal credit profile and name as seed money. And that's definitely not what your personal credit is designed for. So hopefully if you keep continuing to listen to me, hopefully one day it will click. I used to be a person that just used to look at people with business credit and funding, and I used to literally say that isn't for me. Even though they were telling me like, hey, you can get business credit cards, 0% interest. For some reason, I just wasn't moving on it. I looked at business credit and funding as debt. Guys, it's not. What it's doing, so as you come in, I want you to type, I don't think it's working, but if you want to book a call with me, just type the word chat. I know that there was an issue with Meta, but hey, more importantly than anything, I want you to pull up your personal credit profile, take a look, see what's on there. Do you owe anybody anything? Are you able to pay them back? That's the question. Why did you make the decision you made which added the debt to that credit card? Now, if we go back in history when I went from an 815 credit score to like 600 because my credit card utilization spiked. So failure at that point is what happened to me. But it was actually the biggest blessing in disguise. So I love Jim Rohn's definition of success and failure. Success is a few disciplines practiced daily over time. Failure is a few errors in judgment practiced daily over time. So my errors in judgment left me with all my credit card limits lowered and with a couple of credit cards spiked over 100 and something % credit card utilization. Why? It wasn't that it just happened spontaneously and overnight. What were my errors in judgment? Number one, I just didn't have business credit and funding. I did not separate my personal assets and name from my business. That was a huge mistake. So when you see me a lot and you see me dropping reels and you see me doing lives and you see me doing live events and I'm teaching, my primary mission and intention is to help you get to the funding side, period. I want you to take out the idea that business credit is debt. It is not debt. It is you literally separating yourself from your business. Why? So over a period of time, if you've worked so hard for a business, you want it to be successful. But 80% of the people, over 85% of the people who go into business, they fail within the first 5 years. Yeah, that's true. So why not put yourself in a position to win? Understanding that getting business funding, you're separating yourself from your business. That's number one. Then number two, you're getting capital to put yourself in a position to get a good mentor that's going to give you a blueprint to decrease your odds of failing, right? Because first and foremost, I've never scaled to 6 figures plus in a year without guidance. You don't know how to do that. You need community, you need strategy, you need assistance, you need sparring partners. Entrepreneurship, there's levels to it. And who wants to start something and not grow? Who wants to start something and not be successful at it? Especially if you're trying to get away from all the conditioning and the program of going into the American dream, going to college. By now, you guys know that that's dead. That plan is dead. It's not happening, especially with this AI. You guys really do need to be concerned. My background with corporate America I was a network analyst. So I had to constantly keep studying. Technology was changing every 3 months, every 3 months, every 3 months. So don't think that they're over exaggerating when they're saying that these robots and all this AI software, you see the power. They've been working on this 10 years before they even put it into production to the masses. So I highly recommend that you figure out what you're going to do to make money. Trying to depend on someone to feed you and give you a job, that's literally been dead since the '08 recession. All right, when they started laying folk off, okay, and I was one of them. So I was done. When they fired me 3 times in a row in 1 year, I was like, that's it. That's it. That is 100% it. So today, once again, I challenge you to face your faults when it comes to your money decisions. You do that by looking at your personal credit profile. When I flash back and look at that bad credit that I had, which eventually led me into bankruptcy, the number one mistake I made was not separating my personal assets and personal credit profile from my business. I was successful for 5 years. I had more than enough time to totally create a business credit profile where that company was standalone funded, separate of my personal credit. But I didn't do that. First and foremost, when you have small beginnings, I never thought in a million years that I would make $300,000 in a year. I just couldn't fathom that. Why? Because I wasn't in the right environment that was conducive to someone achieving that sort of thing. I thought I had hit it when I was making over $100,000 in corporate America. And then when I hit 200,000 and then 300,000, I'm like, oh my God, I'm rich. It never dawned on me that I can be a millionaire. Why? Because I didn't know any millionaires that came from where I came from. I didn't know any young girls my age that went into entrepreneurship and became a millionaire. Access and information is highly, highly important. That's what I learned. I learned a lot. So we're going back to when I had bankruptcy. Looking at that personal credit profile, I came to the understanding that I wasn't in the right environment. I came to the understanding that there was a gap in my learning. I thought I knew how to make money, but I didn't know how to make it grow. I didn't know how to invest it. I didn't know what the wealthy strategies were in order to keep what I have. It's not about what you cop, it's about what you can keep. And as soon as one issue hit me within 5 years of my business, I had no strategy to sustain. I had no recourse. I had no one to go to. Why? Because all my friends they were working in corporate America. They were making up to $50,000 a year. They don't know anything about somebody with a six-figure business and their issues. You know what they told me? Maybe you should go back to work. I'm like, bullshit. Akila's going to figure this out. That's when I relocated, found my tribe, scrolling on Instagram like a lot of you, ran into my mentor who told me that he can help get rid of my bankruptcy and then get me funded. And at the time I was interested in Turu, and he said that he had Turu training in his program. I'm like, oh shit, 3 for 1. This is it. Joined that program. I haven't looked back since. I got rid of my bankruptcy in 5 months and went on and immediately, when I say immediately, funded myself $300,000. I funded myself over $1 million with this credit profile, but initially $300,000, over $300,000. I was in shock. I literally cried. And so what I want you to understand is that when people are here on the internet, this is a different level of commitment, right? I am here, just so you can kind of know a little bit about me. I believe, whether it's true or not, whether you believe it or not, it's something inside of me that believes that the reason my business failed is because when I got to the point where people were asking me to share it with the masses, they used to offer to pay me to teach, because I was a pioneer in the Airbnb game. So what you may not know is that Mrs. Cash Flows did not come from me funding people. The real estate community, people with gray hair, deemed me that name because I was so successful in an industry that they couldn't figure out. I was able to become successful like that in Airbnb. I was a pioneer of it, that they deemed me Mrs. Cash Flows because I was cash flowing units. Okay? And something in me, this is what made me decide when I funded myself and people just started coming to me again. It was like deja vu. And I instantly was like, no. Why? Because it was selfish. Not that I didn't want to give you the information. It was because I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want to be on Instagram. Thank God. Thank you guys. I want to say this. Thank you for not being mean to me. Because my friends, they show me comments and the shit y'all be saying in them, they comment. Thank God. Thanks for being nice to me. Like talking about the way they look, talking about their kids, talking about their dog and shit, So I totally appreciate you. But something in me, that feeling came over me, and I had someone that came right at the right moment. He was like, think about this. 7 people came to me in that week, and I was just dumping them off on the guy because I was starting a home home healthcare business. And he was like, Akila, you need to think about this. These people thought they were going to work with you. And he was like, I'll partner with you. I literally had to meditate. And when I came from meditation, it made me feel as though the reason my Airbnb business failed is because I refused to share the knowledge with other people. They used to invite me to come speak about it. And me, with my own insecurities and fear, personal fear, I didn't want to get up next to older white men with gray hair who's been in a few recessions, who were multi-millionaires, 8-figure, 9-figure people, and speak next to them. I just didn't have it. I didn't have the mentorship. I didn't have anyone to reference. I was the only black girl in that community, and I just had no one. I was like, nah, that's not for me. No, that's what y'all do. I don't do that. And I had the same feelings, guys. It's funny how the universe works. The very same insecurities and fears came over me again. But let me tell you what the difference was. This time I had a tribe. This time I had a community of over 7,000 people, right? Who were in the business funding and credit space. This time I had brown people, black people, women and men, younger than me, older than me, that were multimillionaires, who were making $1 million in a day, who were speaking. That was the difference. The difference of me then and me now, deciding to make the decision to send this business funding message to you, is I had support. I had a tribe. I had a mentorship. So when I was afraid, I had people pushing me out there, right? I was afraid. It's like, girl, your assets are ready. Your mini chat is set up. It's time to go live. I was afraid. They was like, look, yo, I'll go live with you. See, that was the difference. So when I tell you that you need to get funded, number one, first you need to face your financial situation. Pull up your personal credit profile, pull it up. Number two, I want you to understand that there are consumer laws out there. What you think you know to be true is a lie. Any and everything that's on that credit report can and will be removed with the right person to get it removed. All right? Again, if you have credit challenges, reach out to me. I have what is known as tiered credit repair options. You get the traditional stuff, take 9 to 12 months. You can get the 3 to 6 month option, or you can get the 3 to 6 week option. The platinum. Like, we not playing. Why? I have gone through this myself. So I understand what it feels like to be bankrupt, broke, struggling, no one to go to, no strategies, confused. You're busted. You used everything that you've had for your business. That's a fucked up feeling. And it's a feeling that I am emotionally forever attached to. If I talk about it for too long, I can start crying. That was the worst time of my life. So the reason you have me here now is because I made a decision back then when I was successful not to share the strategy with someone because I was thinking about myself and not the gift that I had to offer. But guess what? God presented me with that same opportunity today. I didn't want to speak. I didn't want to. I didn't want to be on live. I didn't want to. But more importantly, I wanted to get this message out because I thought I was the only one that didn't get the memo. Come to find out, it's millions of us. The story is the same. We don't know how to get business funding and credit, so we use our own personal name and personal profile, and then we rank it up, and we get high credit card utilization, and our score tanked 100 to 150 points, and now we're deadlocked. But we didn't get enough money because our personal credit profile only allows us 30% of that, and that's not a lot of money. So we really couldn't do what we needed to do with the money to make it grow. And then we didn't use our personal credit profile because we were creating a new stream of income. That was another issue I figured out. Never borrow money to pay debt. We started using our personal credit profile as entrepreneurs to float us to pay those bills that's coming in because business isn't great. But guess what? Business isn't great because we don't have a mentorship. Business isn't great because we don't have a tribe. Business isn't great because when we hit a wall, we don't have anyone to reach out to. Here to tell you, face your faults when it comes to your personal credit profile. Number two, know that it can be removed. I don't care what it is. Get it off, get funded, get a tribe. At that point, you pay the best in the game. You're going to set $10,000 to $15,000 or however fast you want to get to the game, $25,000, get in that person's inner circle. But don't jump in the inner circle if you're not there yet. Take phases. If you're someone that's just building out, get the $10,000 package. Never get that course package. That's bullshit. You somehow want to have access to the person. You need to be able to email his team or be in his presence or something. The course is bullshit. That's why I don't do the course anymore. That's why I give it away for free, 30 days, like you can have it. We need to be touched. We need to be inspired. We need to change our paradigm from what we think and know to be true to a new understanding and a new perspective of what's possible for us. You're not going to understand that if you don't see it. If you don't see people winning because you opted for the $2,000 course and you're not invited to the party when this person have their private meetings, you can't gain access to the people that's going to motivate you to get to the next level. We need each other. There's no such thing as a solopreneur. And I want you to understand Do not think that people are always trying to sell you something. They are. I personally didn't want to sell you anything. But this is just too good to be true. Hundreds of people I've helped with this same strategy. It's like, it's become like, wow, I just can't believe people don't understand this. This is something I use my last dime on, and I swear by it. I literally, when I was scrolling on Instagram in the middle of the night, coming from the club, drunk because I had problems, right? 1 o'clock in the morning, came across my mentor. He like, hey, we get rid of bankruptcy, child support, late pay. I'm like, you get rid of my bankruptcy, and we teaching Toru, trucking, whatever you need. I'm like, yo, I need this dude. Did I have the $3,500 to join? No. I had negotiation skills. He had a 24-hour sale, right? I called the guy. I'm like, look, yo, okay, I'll get it. He's like, you got 2 days. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go back to the website. It did go back up in price. I think it was like $5,000, whatever the upgrade price was. I'm like, look, yo, I know you don't know me, but I need this program. And you have to understand my background is real estate, so I can negotiate my ass off. I'm not paying full price for shit. All right, so you get your negotiation skills up. I convinced him to hold that price for 2 weeks. He's like, you know what? I'm going to hold that price for 2 weeks. And I know for a fact that it wasn't a finesse because I knew other people who joined around that same time who paid $5,000. I went and drove Uber like a motherfucking bitch out of hell for 12 hours a day. I was waking up and going to sleep driving because not only did I need that $3,500, I also needed the money to pay my rent. So I went in, paid that $3,500. So I had a different motivation than the average person sitting up in that group. This had to happen. This wasn't, if this doesn't work, no, this had to work because I was tired of driving Uber. So I got rid of my bankruptcy in 5 months, went and immediately funded myself. And I thought at that point, I stopped driving Uber. I was like, I drove Uber a little bit and I was like, this is a wrap. People started coming to me. Then it just started getting bigger and bigger. And then people are like, hey, you want to speak? I didn't want to, but I'm here to tell you guys, face your faults. Clean your personal credit profile up. It's possible. Don't listen to no bullshit. I don't care if you've been scammed on credit repair before. Listen to me. It can come off. I don't care who scammed you in the past because I'm starting to learn a lot of people are told that credit repair is being done and it's not. I don't care. Do not quit. Do not live with bad credit. Get it off. Get funded. Go live your best life. Get mentorship. Find your tribe. Face your faults. It doesn't mean that what you did, you need to use it as a club. Use your past as motivation. All right? You are becoming better. I hope this was something you could use. Okay? This is information you can use. You need to talk with me. You need to talk with my team. DM me the word chat. Okay? Let's get funded. Let's go. Share this live out with a buddy. Like it, save it, comment, be amazing, be great, take action.